A follow-up question from last week. Last week I brought to your attention, I said,
What's my favorite position to study Torah in?
No. Last week I said to you, if you did your follow-up by putting on your blog that you're trying to start a meeting of Sex Addicts Anonymous here in our neighborhood.
I'm not really a start things up kind of guy. I'm more like
A follower?
I'll freeload on someone else's efforts. But, I mean, starting up this Torah talk is about.
You're done for a few years.
I'm done.
That's it. I can't. I'm done. I can't think of any more ideas. I have no more energy left for new. You're a follower, but you're the brains behind this thing. This was your doing, and it's this show has metamorphosized.
Metamorphosed.
It's changed quite considerably since the very beginning of the show. Because at the beginning of the show, it was more like you were the host of the show in your house all the time, and you were like the interviewer, and you would just like throw questions at me the whole night and put me on the defensive and just fire away at me. And now it's sort of more like a give and take thing. Some weeks it's at my place, some weeks it's at your place, and we sort of like share the spotlight all night long. You know, I'll be asking questions, you'll be asking questions, and it's morphosized from that. And also the beginning, it was like I think what made our show different was it was very combative between us. Now it still tends to be combative, right? But I think the highlight now is more of the contrast between, because it's combative and contrasting. And it was more combating, and now it's more contrasting, where I'm like try to focus always on Torah, and you've got to like bring in all your sex stories from before, and it's like that whole thing. So I think we've kind of morphed it into that, and the ratings have held strong the whole way. So you know, we've been through several seasons of this, and people are still tuning in. So a big round of applause to everybody tune in. We appreciate your support. What do you got for us this week?
Oh, beats me.
What's been going on for the last week, Levi?
I watched this great movie on growing up a Seventh-day Adventist in Australia called The Nostradamus Kid. Came out in 1993, and it's about this guy who 8 times gave his heart to God when he was a teenager, but then he fell for the pastor's daughter. And Seventh-day Adventists are very strong in the world's coming to an end, the world's coming to an end, Jesus is coming back.
Right.
So he really wanted to nail the pastor's daughter before Jesus came back. And so it's like the last night on earth. They think that like the end of the world's coming the next day. And so he's getting together with his friend, and he asked his friend, so what shall we do? This is our last night on earth. And his friend says, let's rape all the women.
That's just so holy.
So it was kind of a reflection on growing up as Seventh-day Adventist in Australia and going to a campground. You go to like campgrounds for like a week of prayer, and a lot of hot chicks in the Seventh-day Adventist church. And so he kind of alternated between like giving his heart to God and wanting to give a piece of himself to girls.
Huh.
I could identify with that struggle because, like,
well, you're the Australian guy who's a Seventh-day Adventist, right? So that part's like the same.
And I like constantly give my heart to God, and I constantly trying to give an appendage to the ladies, and I kind of get torn and conflicted. And like, if this is my last night on earth, but I want to go out and rape all the women. I don't think so, chas v'shalom, but
yeah,
I can understand
that.
how.
No, I don't understand that at all. If these people are supposed to be Seventh-day Adventists and they're supposed to be so holy and whatever, why would that be like their final wish? You know what I'm saying? It's like, doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, like if you had like 2 hours left to live, wouldn't you want to have sex?
Yeah, but I'm not going to rape somebody.
Well, what if she didn't want to have sex with you?
Well, then I would hopefully find somebody who did. I wouldn't rape somebody.
So they got this chloroform, like they chlorophyll, and they like poured it on these rags, and they're like prepared to go up to the women and like put the rag over their face, and they pass out.
Oh,
what do you like to use to knock your women out?
I have them watch your videos, lady. works like a knockout punch.
So what do you think about the women's soccer? I think the Americans were arrogant and overconfident. I mean, they were clearly the better side, and they should have won the game, but they choked.
Choke, yeah, bring out the Heimlich maneuver. What can we say? I mean, I watched it. It was like in the first 30 minutes, if you took the goalposts and moved them 3 feet in any direction, up or down or to either side, there's 4 goals for the Americans. Because they, like, you know, it's like these women made like a bikini wax shave around, like picture the goalpost as like a big, you know, a big vagina. They worked their way around it, like shaving around it, and they like shaved every corner.
It's like a bikini wax.
It was bikini wax. They shaved every corner. They hit I think they hit both posts in the first 30 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, and they never, like, the goalie didn't have to stand there. You didn't even need the goalie because none of the shots went in the middle. They drew an outline. It was unbelievable, and they didn't score. And I'm going, this is going to come back to bite them in the butt, right? Because they're going to wish that 3 or 4 of those went in, and sure enough, you know, they made a couple of mistakes in the second half, and the thing's tied, right? And even then they go.
Penalty kicks and they choke.
Oh, the penalty kicks is ridiculous. I hate penalty kicks in soccer. You know, it's like you play 90 minutes and then you play another 30 minutes, right? So you play 120 minutes, you play 2 hours. 2 hours of soccer running back and forth, passing back and forth. And you never get like a shot from like right in front of the net. Like it never happens, right? So let's play 120 minutes, 2 hours of soccer, and then decide the game in 5 minutes by something that has nothing to do with the game. That doesn't even happen. You don't get like wide open shots in the middle of a soccer game, right? It's like retarded. I hate that. They should let them play until the end. Just let them keep playing. They should have sudden death, and the Americans would have won if it was sudden death, you know? Make it like hockey in the playoffs. Just let them play. They just keep playing all night. Let them play 6 or 7 hours. But don't. The penalty shots was stupid. I knew when they went to penalty shots we were asking for trouble. I just could smell it. This is going to be trouble. You know? This is like where Japan has us right where they want to. You know? It's like 2 hours they played us. They stayed in this thing. And now they're going to make their move. And they did. And the American women were just god-awful in the kicking. I don't blame the goalie because, you know, the odds are you're supposed to make like 4 out of 5 shots. Americans made like what, 1 out of 4?
1 out of 4.
1 out of 4 is retarded. You should, if you had, the most you should miss is 1 out of 4. We should have made 3 and we should have won the game right there. Boom! That should have been over. That was ridiculous. I was so pissed off. I got into this thing and I was like, all right, Americans are going to win.
It was the first time I cared about a women's team sport.
Okay. I'm different than that.
You've cared about what? Have you cared about?
I'm a huge fan of UCLA softball. UCLA women's softball, huge fan. I watch the regional and the super regionals and the World Series every year, and I'm a big fan of. I've always been a big fan of that.
I don't find softball uniforms erotic.
I don't watch it.
I don't think they're flattering. Like, I like the little shorts, and like I like watching them kind of tumble over. And
they used to wear shorts. The UCLA team used to wear shorts. I'm going to say circa like 1999, 2000. They were still wearing shorts, and then they moved to long pants. But they used to wear shorts with knee pads, I believe, if I remember correctly. And yeah, the women look good then because they have tan legs. You know, they look good. But then they switched over. I can't watch women's basketball. It's horrible. They're god awful. You know, we talked about that. Yeah. You like bikini football. I'm not a huge fan.
I like lingerie football league.
Yeah. What other sports are there? Women's soccer. I can watch it because they're pretty talented at it.
I like to watch women studying Talmud.
Sure. And what other women's sports are there? Swimming, diving?
I like many Reform and conservative rabbis are women.
All right. I saw on your blog you were saying that the best looking one on the team is, or whatever you said.
Hope Solo.
You like Hope Solo?
Yeah.
So, if you, I think your question was what?
If I could date any member of the team, Hope Solo.
Hope Solo.
Providing she was an Orthodox Jew.
Oh yeah, right. Like there's a strong chance there.
Alex Morgan, I wouldn't kick her.
Alex
Morgan.
I
wouldn't kick her out of shul for eating crackers. On Pesach.
Have you seen photos of her?
No.
Okay, I'm going to send you for your blog for tomorrow. I'm going to send you some photos of her. She's done some photo shoots.
Really?
Yeah.
The French and German